Man, we got a major story picking up here. Browns wide receiver Malachi Corley going viral for comments he had to say about Shedeur Sanders. We got to get into this thing, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. That would be greatly appreciated. So, Cleveland Browns obviously overhauling the roster, brought in a brand new tackle, going to continue to build up the line, potentially drafting a receiver like a Cardinal Tate or Jordan Tyson, or making a trade for one, okay? Malachi Corley has some things to say about Shedeur Sanders that's making waves over the internet. Let's get into it.
But I'm gonna get up with Shedeur this week. This week coming up. Not this week coming up, but 2 weeks from now, and I'll be throwing in Cleveland with him, and hopefully a couple times this offseason get up with Shedeur and throw the ball around and everything.
How's the offseason going?
The offseason is going great. Took a lot of time to myself, just to reinvigorate and re-energize myself. Considering it's a long season from training camp all the way through the season, and just being able to be around my friends and my family and have the opportunity to see everyone, to be back home and just feeling fresh and re-energized. And I've been getting back to the work for about 2.5 weeks, and that's going good so far. Getting faster, getting stronger, and just working on my game. Yeah, and just trying to take it step by step, because usually in the offseason I feel like I go a little bit too fast, and I'm done there ready for camp in April, and it's a long journey.
So what are you really trying to focus on coming in from last season to this season? Is there one thing that you're really trying to improve?
Definitely, specifically my release package. I want to just be able to be known as be able to be a Z receiver, be able to play X if needed, and just take that label of me just being a slot receiver away.
What adjustment was it from college to the NFL?
The biggest adjustment was just the consistency level. Staying up with the maintenance of your body, understanding what's required of you. At this point, it's literally your job to play football and be prepared for whatever it takes for that day. So just focusing and locking in the meeting room, which is already something that I've already taken really serious since even just being back in high school. But just the consistency portion, showing up and being the same guy every day.
All right, man. Shout out to Dog Pound Tony, man. Malachi Corley is already about to start training with Shedeur Sanders, and that is great news. Shedeur Sanders about to put that work in with the guys he's going to be playing with. Now, Malachi Corley was actually all right. He was really good on a lot of reverses and underneath work last season. So I'm not mad at Malachi. I'm not mad at Malachi Corley. You know what I mean? But that is great news. A lot of people was talking about that. Now, we have to get into what was being said on UCSS. The Malik Willis thing is dead, y'all. We've been saying it for a while. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was all the anybody but Shedeur Sanders hope fanatics, okay? The anybody but Shedeur mafia. That was just them pushing it. And now it's come out that that's not happening. Let's take a listen.
Don't know what he would look like here.
I looked at this angle, McNuggets, and I never really thought about it. I looked at it more of a financial ramifications in terms of how much it costs. I looked at it in terms of, okay, this, how, the sample size, how much he played. For me, I never looked at it from the agent angle. The fact that him and Deshaun Watson have the same agent, I'm not saying that that's a deal breaker, but if you, Mulligetta, your job is to resurrect, and I do think that that's what they're trying to do. I think the Cleveland Browns, as well as Deshaun Watson, are trying to rehabilitate his career, and I think that they do want him to have the best opportunity to put himself in a position, even if he doesn't win the position, maybe he could be a backup quarterback and still play in these preseason games and show something. And so if you, Mulligetta, why would you bring your new client, which is Willis, over to the Browns, which is canceling one of your other clients out? I think that what they're doing is which is really a masterful job. I think that they've dominated for a person who only plays 6 games. I think his agent has done a tremendous job of keeping his name front row and center, and in positioning him as the number one guy on the market. And for him to be mentioned to get $30 million. Congratulations, bro. If you get that, that is tremendous.
He's not getting that. I know the cap went up, and I know the 30 is,
that's the number they keep floating around.
That's the new 20.
Yeah. But
man, if he gets 30 million.
Jay, I said this on Ultimate Browns. I said this is a team who said they wouldn't give Baker 30.
Yeah, but think about how much things have changed since then.
But
prices have gone up.
But prices have gone up. The salary cap has gone up exponentially.
But at least Baker he broke a record. He won. He led you to a playoff game.
Sure.
He won some games. He was the first overall pick.
Hey,
and
you're dogging the wrong guy here. Yeah, they were idiots.
They didn't give him 30, but now we're giving him 30,
but
and
again,
he plays 6.
I think 30 is the new
rough.
20. That's what 20
guess.
used to be.
Inflation.
And you know what? I mean, now guys are making 45. So it used to be 30 was the bar.
Yeah. I just think both of his clients been on the same roster. I think they're
Jay,
using
do
the
you
Browns.
think that matters? I'm sitting here trying to think. I'm sure it's happened where agents have had more than one quarterback on the same team. I know it has.
It's a factor, but I don't think it's the deciding factor. Like if
your job is to get everybody paid.
And I've been pretty consistent on that. I don't think Malik Willis is coming here. But if that's in the best interest of Malik Willis, you as the agent
have to facilitate
have to do what's in the best interest of now, it doesn't always work that way.
No.
But
if Cleveland if they're the highest offer, then he comes to Cleveland.
Then yeah. But
regardless of who his agent is.
I don't think this is gonna happen. But I think it's a factor, but Deshaun has been through so much and has been so physically broken. I don't know how. I mean, he got his money. It's all guaranteed. So if you have the opportunity to give that money, to make that money for another client, then I think you do it. It's 1 year left on Deshaun anyway, and then he can figure out whatever's next in his life in terms of if he's going to another team.
Can I ask you a structural question on the NFL? I read this, and I'm not sure. I think I know how I feel about it, but I wanted to get your take on it. Did I see that the Browns are petitioning the league?
Yes.
To be able, I want to have a quick conversation about that for a second.
We talk about that on Friday.
I believe I read this right. I think I saw that the Brown is petitioning the league to be able to trade assets more than 3 years out.
5.
They want 5 years out.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but laugh when I read that, and here's why. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that rule exists so teams can't spend themselves into oblivion.
Mortgage their future.
Which is exactly what the Browns are doing. And so now it's like going to a bank and saying, I can't afford this house at 30 years, but I bet I could afford it at 50 years, so I'd like to take a 50-year mortgage. There's a reason they don't write 50-year mortgages. To me, that feels like exactly what the Browns are doing. And I hope the league says no to this, because if they don't, we'll start trading picks 5 years out.
Yeah.
And then we're going to dig ourselves into a 10 or a 12-year hole.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. I'm totally against it because...
Is the league, do you think?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
hope
would tend to think that the league... I don't know who makes that decision. If you take it before the owners and the owners vote...
Well, I would think it would be an owner vote.
And then owners, who knows what the owners are going to do?
A lot of the owners might say, yeah, that's cool. Only one team's going to do that, and we'll continue to raid them.
Yeah, because the point I made on Friday is the average length of the general manager's career is like 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're spending the next guy's money.
Yeah, and I can. And
I think it's a terrible idea.
I do too.
They let
Good.
them get
I
it
thought
off
that's how I felt
They
about
let
it.
them get it off in basketball.
I know they did, and I think it's a mistake in basketball.
Well, basketball, you have to have a pick every other year. You can only trade a pick every other year.
Yeah, but can't you trade out like 7 years?
But again, you still are going to have a pick every other year.
Yeah. Right.
So that's
and the draft, by the way, I think the draft is a lot less influential in the NBA than it is in the NFL.
Well, at the top of the draft, it's everything in the NBA. Like you draft the top 5 if you got a guy.
But as we've seen, there's no surefire way to make sure you're drafting in the top 5.
No.
I mean, even if you get entered in the lottery, there's a very good chance that you don't pick where you're supposed to pick.
People still got a 14. What's the best 14% chance?
I don't remember since they changed the odds.
It's 14%.
Yeah.
I mean
that's kind of a crapshoot.
And now they're trying to get rid of that too.
I know they are. And I'm not necessarily opposed to what they're trying to do.
But I agree with you guys. It seems to me, at least, less and less likely that the Browns are going to pay up the money it's going to cost for Malik Willis.
So we all are kind of in agreement that Malik Willis won't be
I
here.
don't think it's really realistic.
By the way, I worked with both those guys, Graziano and
Fowler.
Yeah, Fowler. They're both plugged in, as you know. They talk to a ton of people. But you said it, Mike. This really is. I wouldn't even call it. I think this is smokescreen season. I think the week before the draft is flat